Very recently, the world got some terrible news. Brian David Gilbert would be stepping away from Polygon to endeavors in parts unknown. And with this departure, he ended his Unraveled series. Now, a reason for this departure included a statement from Brian where he said, quote, "I'd like to make something that someone else could make an Unraveled about." Hi, I'm Joe, but you can call me Joseph Augustine Tremon III. And today, I will be unveiling the best Unraveled created by Brian David Gilbert. What the fuck? But Joseph, how on earth could you possibly narrow down these masterpieces of art and creativity and choose a clear, unbiased winner, you ask? Or you don't, I cannot hear you. We are going to need to set some rules for selection. What we're going to be doing, in essence, is creating a ranking system and stacking each video up against one another. This prevents any personal biases and allows each video to stand on its own. The ranking system is, as one would expect, in part measured in BDGs, or in this case, Brian's digitally generated. Thank you. How many frames Brian is on screen is an obvious metric here, but it can't be the only one, otherwise longer videos would win by default. The words spoken by the man himself will be another metric we'll need to take into account, giving us Brian's vocals digitally generated per video, or BVD GPVs for short. We'll also need to take into account the amount of editing done in each video. 70 to 80% of these videos' humor come from the editing alone. Without the smash cuts, we're just left with the frail, fragile reminder of what we'll all soon become. This will also allow shorter videos more of a chance to pull ahead and to level the playing field. Each edit will be counted. I'm talking text blocks, images, cuts, fades, zooms, flying heads, and all manner of work that one can accomplish in After Effects. I wish I could say that these numbers would just be averaged together to give us our total. But this is YouTube, baby! Those likes and views are some of the most important metrics of all. Taking a note out of the GOATY Unraveled, me and a team of incredibly dedicated and slightly cultist Redditors created a mathematical formula to prove the best Unraveled. Here's the thing. It's garbage. It sucks. This is trash. This sucks. We throw it in the trash because it's garbage. With our ranking system created and formula formed, we begin at the end with Brian's latest video. This will be our starting point, and I'm not going to go in depth on every single video, because this was kind of started as a joke, but I'm in too deep, and mama didn't raise no bitch. It is clear to me, however, after starting this endeavor, that the amount of research the mad lad put himself through is daunting. 27 videos, 452 minutes of footage. This was not going to be an easy challenge. I touched on this briefly, but I was able to recruit the assistance of an extremely active and supportive fan base of both Brian and Polygon's work. What seemed like a month-long project became shockingly manageable. Let's get down to metrics. With Brian's latest Unraveled and our first stop on this journey, we must first determine its BDG. The video is 19 minutes and 35 seconds long. Removing the number of seconds that Brian is not in the video from the total number of seconds in it, and then multiplying that number by the frame rate will give us our first metric. Luckily, YouTube's Stats for Nerds functionality tells us plainly that this, and every Unraveled, is uploaded at 1080p 24 frames per second. You dork of a cinephile. And there we have it. Multiply the seconds left by 24 gives us our BDG. 29,112 frames of Brian. We now need to find the number of words spoken by Brian specifically. Again, YouTube allows us to pull the transcripts for these videos, which I only found out about after trying to count these by tally. Thank capitalism, Polygon has a paid staff. This video, when removing Terra's words and lines like stares intensely, gives us 2,899 BVD GPVs. Or words. Awesome! Another metric down. We're on a roll here, so let's tackle the edit. These work-from-home videos proved to be a new challenge for Brian, as in lieu of paper, he decided he would use an edit for everything he deemed important, or whenever he goddamn well pleased. 274 edits were made in the making of this latest romp, which is surprisingly low when compared to some other titles. We came to this number by counting each transition, every change of background, or when Brian decided to have a Pokemon consume his very being. Before we continue, I want to point out, having all 970 names of each Pokemon fly across the screen at once put me in one hell of a bind, Brian, but I'm assuming you used a single text block and then animated it up, so I'm counting it as one object. Applying this video to our formula gives us an overall Big Brian point of 1.107. Holy shit, that's low. And then hang on. Okay, hang on. Okay. We can No. 107,916,172,676.31 BBPs. Because big number's good! This will now be the score that each video will attempt to beat, given that this was Brian's send-off. I'm expecting previous videos to blow this score out of the water like a child throwing a body into a pond. Look, nothing personal here, but let's look at the raw stats. Only 274 edits, hardly any green screen usage, and not a singular Brian kick? Look, Brian kinda went out on a somber note, talking about his feelings and experience with Polygon. It's no surprise then that it only has 1.3 million views when compared to some other entries. But before we continue, I want to state plainly that this is obviously intended in good fun. If you have a favorite moment or video that isn't deemed the winner, your opinion's still valid, but just know, I spent over a literal month poring over hours of footage with 10 plus people to find this answer. You can have your opinion, just know that it's trash.
Oh no.
We'll take the rest of these work from home videos, from Pokemon editability to increasing stamina, and find our numbers for these first. This included moments like Brian first getting sponsored, creating a brand new sport, and even Brian's very first on-screen death. Now, I was worried about getting to this point because we're pretty much just showing you numbers now, so thank you. This is a plant. It was in the studio when we got here. I don't know if it's real. We've named him Jim, and you take this back. Thank you. Here's the score so far. And we have... wow. Okay. So the latest video is still pulling ahead. Look, I get it. Some of the work from home videos maybe weren't as exciting, they were entertaining. Everyone had a rough time adjusting to this new way of life. So let's take a look at another batch of videos. Up next, we have the self-proclaimed Season 2 of Unraveled. Everything from Mario's retirement to Dark Souls. This season of Unraveled gave us some very interesting moments, from recreating ska to the existential crisis of a man slowly realizing he's nothing more than a player too. And for that reason alone, I think it's no surprise that the highest ranked video in this section is Waluigi, baby! And compared to the last group, so, well, I mean, maybe the videos aren't as funny as I remember them being. Maybe they can get as many likes as I thought. All right. You know, we're almost done here. So let's just jump into the next group of videos, okay? Okay. The first round of Unraveled. The videos that started it all. Who can forget such amazing moments like finding Castlevania's sexiest monster, discovering that Mario is a war criminal, that whole thing with Sonic. These videos captivated an audience, enamored millions, and inspired countless people like me. So, I think that it really is only fitting that the best Unraveled turns out to be the... No! What do you mean? What do you mean none of these won? No! Okay, there is no way that Pokemon Editability is the best Unraveled. Okay, he doesn't even kick in it. He doesn't even kick in it. Yeah, let me see that. All right, so we kind of glossed over the formula that we used at the beginning of this, and I feel that it's really only fair that we go over that a bit more now. As it turns out, having likes minus dislikes over views puts us in a bit of a precarious situation. One that opens up a very important question about YouTube. As a video from a popular channel ages, it is likely to get more views from existing viewers. But there are a few people that are willing to like a video over time. It's an interesting question. Is it more important to have a view or a view and an engagement on a video? Which one is likely to turn into long-time viewership? Using this metric as our basis clearly shows the detriment that this can cause to older videos, especially videos like cooking all the food from Breath of the Wild, a video which, by all respects, went viral and likely landed on YouTube's front page at the time. But to alter this formula, to have likes and views not mean as much as they do would be disingenuous to all the people who made these videos possible. But all of this ignores the fact that, like Brian's Game of the Year video, maybe our formula's busted. We went through 5 different iterations of this, and the winners for some of those videos, let me tell you, there's a lot to consider when you create a formula that speaks true to the work that Brian did and the cultural impact that it has. It just turns out that cultural impact decays over time. Like everything, it's hard to remain relevant. Brian's work has shown us this firsthand. So in a way, it's extremely fitting that in the end, his best work was his last. You said you wanted to create something that people could make an Unraveled about. Seems like you already did. We're here today because in one way or another, Brian inspired you. I wouldn't be standing here today if I didn't come across this scrawny stick of a man rambling about Kingdom Hearts for 15 minutes. His work showed me that there is a place on YouTube for hectic, crazily edited lecture-style videos. I quite literally would not be standing here in this room doing this video without Brian's work. So, to you, Brian, I know the likelihood of you seeing this video is extremely low. But from me, my team, the 12 people who helped me crunch the numbers for this while I was working a regular job, and the thousands of people in your subreddit who welcomed me with open, slightly cultish arms when I reached out for help on this project. This video was created as a way for the community to say thank you. For all of us to collectively reach out in a way that feels fitting for such a strange and unique content creator as yourself. And lastly, this video is specifically for you, Brian. Because you see, I now hold the key to your future success. By creating this formula, I now know what your most successful content is and your least. I have scientifically proven how to remain relevant, Brian, and maintain success in your future endeavors. Now, I'm not saying you need me, but should you continue and you should fail, just know that I offered my assistance. So, message me, Brian. and we can begin your career as a sponsorless, D-list content creator today. It's off? Cool. Alrighty, well, that'll be a bitch and a half to edit.
Oh yeah, it's gonna suck. We're gonna be up all night.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh yeah. Hiya! Because that's a smash cut with karate. So it's like a hiya! Hiya! Let's get down to metrics! Giving us Brian's vocals digitally generated per video. Or BVD. Damn it! I knew I'd mess it up eventually. Be sure to like and subscribe. Check us out on Patreon, Twitter, and the TikTok. And make sure to leave your favorite Unraveled below.
I hate me more than you hate me.
No!